Hello, deadlings. Welcome back to Exploring the Entity, where killers, survivors, and secrets collide. I'm your co-host, Mark.
And Ducati. On today's episode, we'll be answering a burning question players far and wide have always asked. What is the math behind the emblems?
Have you newer players ever looked at those four things at the end of your game and wondered exactly what those are and how they affect your in-game rank? And you more seasoned players, have you ever looked at those emblems and hovered over them and wondered exactly how in the heck the entity got to that? Like, I did 4 gens. How do I only have a gold Lightbringer emblem? Am I meant to do everything?
Alrighty, so in those survivor categories, we're going to focus on the four. Lightbringer, which means how many gens were repaired, how many gens were being repaired while people were in chase, cleansing totems, and opening exit gates. Unbroken is the ability to survive during the trial, taking into account the dying state and the survival time. Benevolent, how many times you were placed on hook, how many survivors were safely on hook, and any altruistic actions. And Evader, being inside the killer's terror radius without being in chase, stunning with pallets, or winning and losing chases.
First up in today's math, we have Lightbringer, with 30 points in this category being a bronze emblem, with 100 points in this category being a silver emblem, and 190 points in this category being a gold emblem, and 270 points in this category is equal to an iridescent emblem. Moving on to the points breakdown. You get plus 5 points whenever each survivor receives it every time a gen is completed, added to a player being in chase once a dull totem is cleansed. Plus 10 is added to a player being in chase each time a hex totem is cleansed or blessed. Plus 15 is opening an exit gate. Plus 30 if you open both gates, because, swag. Plus 20 is for cleansing a dull totem. Plus 50 is cleansing and blessing a hex totem. Up to 33.33 per gen. 1/3 point for each percent others put towards a gen, up to plus 100 per gen, 1 point per percentage repaired on a gen, points split evenly among all players repairing said gen.
Alrighty, next up we have the unbroken threshold. This one is not accounting for actual points. This one is very set in stone, as shown in the next slide. So, iridescent is given to escaping the trial without entering the dying state once. Gold is escaping the trial and entering the dying state at least once. Silver is failing to escape the trial but surviving more than 9 minutes. Bronze is failing to escape the trial but surviving 5 to 9 minutes. And none is awarded if you fail to escape the trial and survive less than 5 minutes.
Next up, we have Benevolent. On this one, it's a little bit different, and you start with 35 points base. You just have it when you start the match. Bronze is for 25 points in this category. Silver is for 45 points in this category. Gold is for 75 points in this category. And iridescent is for 100 points in this category. With the breakdown being, you get minus 30 for survivors you rescued get down before the safe unhook score event. You get minus 10 each time a survivor is hooked. You get plus 0 for getting hit by the killer and healing yourself. Plus 10, you get that for altruistic healing actions. Each time a survivor is unhooked, protection hit while survivor is being carried, sabotaging a hook within 10 meters, and survivor wiggles off. Plus 20 is for safely unhooking a survivor, and plus 30 is for freeing a carried survivor, and you get times 1.15 positive points triggered in the basement, positive points triggered while exit gates are powered as well.
Alright, moving on to the evader threshold. This is another one that you actually start the match with a certain amount of points, being 100 points. The bronze category comes in at 230. the silver at 380, gold at 560, and iridescent at 880. So the points breakdown is you get minus 10 for players being hit by the killer, plus 0 for initiating a chase, plus 50 for stunning the killer with a pallet, plus 1 point per second while inside the killer's tail radius without being in chase. This actually has a multiplier added to it that happens at the end. And with this, I do have to say a little bit of a caveat. So, DBD considers a chase to be over 5 seconds after the actual chase is over. If you happen to be found by the killer and chase continues within those 5 seconds, the number will just keep adding up. It will not be reduced, it will not be reset. Anyways, so for these multipliers, if the killer is further than 24 meters away, you get X 0 point multiplier. If the killer is closer than 64, it is X 0.1 multiplier. If the killer is closer than 45 meters away, it is X 0.3. If the killer is closer than 30 meters away, it is X 0.5. If the killer is closer than 20 meters away, it is X 1.1. If the killer is closer than 10 meters away, it is X 2.2. And if the killer is 5 meters closer to you, it is X 6. So basically, for example, if you're inside the killer's tear radius for 10 seconds at 4 meters from your current distance, you get 4 points times 6. That is how you do the math on that one. And then aside from that, you have plus 250 for chases that last more than 60 seconds, 150 points plus for chases that last 46 to 59 seconds, plus 60 points for chases that last 30 to 44 seconds, plus 25 points for chases that last 16 to 29 seconds, and 1 point plus per second for chases that last fewer than 15 seconds. You get a multiplier of times 2 for losing the killer without being hit, and a multiplier of 0.5 for getting hit or being downed. So basically, if your chase lasts more than 60 seconds, you'll get that 250 points, and if you get downed, it gets multiplied by 0.5. If the chase lasts, for example, 15 seconds, but you do not get hit, then it will be 15 points times 2. And that is the breakdown. I know it's a little confusing and it's a lot to wrap your head around.
And here are the killer emblem categories. First, we have Gatekeeper, number of incomplete generators remaining, and if the exit gates remained closed or not. Devout, death by any means, hooking survivors at least once, and hooking collectively at least 9 times. Malicious, damaging survivors, interrupting survivors, hooking survivors, survivors managing to heal. Chaser, damaging survivors, interrupting survivors, being close to hooked survivors, and survivors managing to heal.
Alrighty, so starting off with Gatekeeper. So bronze is at 10 points, silver at 15, gold at 25, and iridescent at 35. So the points breakdown is you get plus 10 for the trial ending with no exit gates being opened, and it is added once per minute for each gen and stops tracking after 9 minutes have elapsed. You get plus 0 if no gens remain at end of trial. You get plus 1 if 1 gen remains at the end of the trial, plus 2 if 2 gens remain at the end of the trial, plus 3 if 3 gens remain, plus 4 if 4 gens remain, and plus 5 if 5 gens remain.
Next up, we have the Devout emblem. 1 point in this category is bronze, 4 points in this category is silver, 8 points in this category is gold, and 10 points in this category is iridescent. Moving on to the point breakdown. You get plus 0 points for each survivor who died by bleeding out. You get plus 1 point for hooking survivors at least one time, having hooked survivors collectively at least 9 times. And you get plus 2 points for each survivor who died on a hook, for each survivor who died by being killed by the killer's own hand, and for each survivor who disconnected from the trial.
Next up, the malicious category. For bronze, it's 11 points, silver is 22, gold is 30, and iridescent is 36. And the points breakdown is as follows: minus 10 for each time a survivor is healed, each time a survivor escapes the killer's grasp, plus 1 each time the killer hits a survivor, and plus 2 each time a survivor reaches a new hook state.
And lastly, we have the Chaser Emblem, with 650 points in this category, getting you a bronze emblem, with 1,230 points in this category, getting you a silver emblem, with 1,800 points in this category, getting you a gold emblem, and 2,550 points in this category, getting you an iridescent emblem. Moving on to the points breakdown. You get minus 7.5 points for being within 8 meters of a hooked survivor, which gets applied after 10 seconds. You get minus 3 points for being within 16 meters of a hooked survivor, which also gets applied after 10 seconds. You get plus 0 for ending a chase after losing the survivor. You get plus 5 points for finding and initiating a chase with a survivor. You get plus 55 points for damaging a survivor during chase. And you get plus 90 points per second if chase lasted up to 15 seconds, plus 60 points per second if chase lasted up to 30 seconds, plus 50% per second chase lasting up to 45 seconds, plus 40 points per second for chase lasting up to 60 seconds, and plus 30 per second for chase lasting longer than 60 seconds.
Alrighty, everyone. I hope all of that information was really nice and helpful. And if you're still a little confused, we so deeply apologize about that. With that being said, we wanted to actually give some exciting news. We are officially launching the official Discord server for this podcast. With that launch, there's going to be some exciting features on there, like you guys can offer some future episode ideas. We'll be conducting some research for some more like player-based stats episodes coming in the future. You guys can play DVD together on there and so much more. With the official release of this server, we are actually kind of doing a cool little thing. So we have this really exciting episode that we've been kind of working and playing around with in the background, but we really want to hear from you guys, the actual players, about this. So the first 10 people to sign up to our Discord server will get a early exclusive preview to give us some feedback on that episode and have their voices heard. So, the first 10, please enjoy this cool little access. To join our Discord, you're going to go ahead and go to the bottom of this episode on the description. You can hit that link, or you can go always to our website and you can hit that link as well. With that being said, I hope that our new Discord server becomes a wonderful place and we will regularly be checking it out. We'll give you guys announcements and you'll be here listening and knowing some cool information before everyone else does. And with that being said, thank you, deadlings, for everything so far.
And if you are curious about this information down the road, feel free to head over to our website to see all of this at any time from any mobile device or computer. Thank you for joining us here at Exploring the Entity. Remember to follow us on Spotify and Instagram at Exploring the Entity.
Also, check us out on the visual side on YouTube at Exploring the Entity DVD. Until next time, deadlings, keep your eyes on the shadows, listen for the claws, because the fog doesn't just surround you, it waits for you.